The committee is made up of representatives from the federal, state governments and the private sector. It is made up of the largest private employer group, as well as the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, NECA, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, NASIMA, and Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, as well as the Federation of Construction Industry. From the Labour Union, we have the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, the Trade Union Congress, TUC, Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG. Members of the Nigeria Governors Forum, NGFR, Governor Rauf Aregbesola of Osun State, Governor Rochas Okorocha of Imo State, Governor Hassan Dankwambo of Gombe State, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State, and Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu. Federal government team includes the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Minister of Finance, the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, and the Permanent Secretary, General Services Office, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Chairman, National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, and a former Minister of Lands and Housing, Amma Peppel, will serve as Chairman of the Tripartite National.
Your briefing is not clear.
After that, the chairman of the Progressives Governors Forum and Governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, explains more on the issue of minimum wage and other issues.
The issue of workers took the center stage because Mr. President is very much concerned about those who depend on their salary to feed their families and pay their house rent. And we had the assurance of governors that we're going to meet up those. And it was emphasized that state and federal government must work together to get Nigeria out of its economic predicament and make Nigeria a better society for all of us.
The Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, says the composition of the committee will achieve the needed result.
We do a consensual bargaining and distill an agreement, what we call in labor parlance collective bargaining agreement, CBA. And once that CBA is agreed on, that CBA means this is the amount, this is the minimum. And from that minimum, you go on a sliding scale up to the biggest person that is employed. And then that becomes a law. When the President transmits it to the National Assembly will subject it to the process and treatment of an executive bill becoming an act and pass it. So that is what we expect to come out from this negotiation. And as you can see, the membership, the quality is rich. And I have no doubt in my mind that everybody is coming to the table with a broad mind, no hard position.
Also speaking was the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, Ayuba Waba. He insists that what workers were paid at present was not enough to take care of their needs.
The issue of reviewing the minimum wage have been central in the issues that organized labor have tried to canvass. We should be able to have a minimum wage in no distant time that can be able to address many of the challenges of workers because of the fact that we'll then be able to take care of a family, a worker, and also pensioner. So I think it's a welcome development, and we will be committed, as organized labor, as we are aware, we will be committed to a process of tripartite dialogue.
The national president of the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers Union says the committee will take a holistic view of all the economic indices in arriving at an acceptable wage.
In reality, the nation's economy, you will agree with me that today the minimum wage is nowhere. The global indices, Nigeria is the least paid workers as long as the global environment is concerned. But we think when we look at these indices, we'll be able to say, look, where is our inflationary trend? Where are we now today? What is the exchange rate in terms of economic environment? And then that's what we're going to look at when you talk about the economy. And then I hope at the end of the day, it's going to be a successful one if, like I said, the political will, the commitment is also there.
The National Union of Electricity Employees, led by Joe Ejero, faults the formation of the committee.
The minimum wage is not helping matters. And the minimum wage committee and its composition is questionable. Why will you put a governor who is not paying salary into the minimum wage committee? What is he going to do there? I am asking this question. Somebody is not paying 18,000 and then you want to increase salary, then you put him there. To do what? These are issues that there is going to be, all of us here at the end of this next meeting, everybody should prepare their minds that these governors who can't pay 18,000 will not agree for them to pay 100,000 or even 50,000. Therefore, we should prepare for war. Nigerian workers should not be deceived with the pomp and pageantry that associated the inauguration of the Minimum Wage Committee. It may be dead on arrival.
For the governor of Rivers State, the state should be allowed to formulate their own minimum wage bill.
You are talking about minimum wage. So many states cannot pay salary now. And if the minimum wage is increased, how would they be able to look at how the one it is they can't pay? So federal government should review the revenue sharing formula.
Mr. Henry Boyo, an economist, has a different view about the proposed minimum wage. He wants the value of the naira to be strengthened because that will improve the purchasing power of the workers.
My take, quite honestly, is that what they should be looking at should be strengthening the purchasing power of the naira. If, for example, you had a situation where the naira became 100 naira to $1, you would find that the same 18,000 naira minimum wage is buying you almost about $200. So the realistic approach would not be quantum increases in wages. It should be more directed to improving the exchange rate of the naira. But then you'd ask, how would the exchange rate of the naira be? And that's very simple, really, believe it or not. The system which they adopt at the moment for determining the exchange rate of the naira is totally faulty and ambiguous. If you had a situation where you are able to turn around the market system that determines the naira rate of exchange, so that instead of auctioning the dollar against the naira, you would actually be auctioning the naira against the dollar. If you had that approach, I can assure you, within 6 months, the naira would be less than 100 naira to $1. And that would mean if you left 18,000 naira as minimum wage, it would be equal to the purchasing power of 56,000 naira.